My name is John Vickers. I work for Advanced Rework Technology. I am a Master IPC Trainer. We were established over 30 years ago. We are an independent IPC training provider. We teach various IPC standards as well as our own independent hands-on training classes. Predominantly support for our students. We teach, we train, and we aid in our students' understanding of IPC standards. But it doesn't just stop with training, we provide constant support. We always exhibit at Southern Manufacturers. We find that it's the best trade show for us to attend. We also have a very strong partnership with IPC, who consistently run the hand soldering competition, and new this year the cable and wire harness. We also have a lot of our customers that exhibit here, but most importantly for us is finding customers that don't already exist with us. I've had a look around today and it seems that there's a massive amount of new exhibitors that are here this year, so it's good for us to go around, meet new people and explain exactly what the benefits are with working with A.R.T. We find firstly that design is important. If the assembly is designed correctly at the outset, then the issues going through into assembly should be minimal. Equally, we live in an imperfect world, and as perfect as our equipment can be, there are always issues in the way in which they are populated, so there's always a small amount of potential rework that might need to be carried out. For us, commonly it's down to training, making sure that the staff that are working on the product are trained correctly. We've realised, especially from COVID, that the industry itself is struggling to keep hold of a trained and skilled workforce. So now the electronics industry is having to employ people from outside of the industry, and this is where training is even more important. We've got people now that don't have a large history or understanding of electronics, and it's a steep learning curve, both in theory and practical-based training. The premise of standardisation in regards to revisions is that the industry always evolves. Older revisions are then incorporated by newer, older information is removed, newer information is added, and the industry is always evolving. The industry controls IPC standards, and it's up to us to make sure that the standards that we use to check the products that we produce are relevant, and the only way in which we can do that is to revise them constantly. The idea of A.R.T. is to aid in improving our customers' skill set and understanding of IPC by teaching them information prior to them going on to the training classes themselves. We are moving into an area where a lot of staff do not historically have a massive understanding of the electronics industry. So we find that going through A.R.T. specific classes and fundamental training, teaching them new skills and new understanding is a good basis before they move on to IPC standardisation. Standardisation is there for people with a good foundation of electronics knowledge, and that's what we try to provide before they move on to IPC standards. Training is fundamental. Getting people to understand how materials affect the process is really important. We find a lot of the issues when it comes to training is that operators or hands-on staff are trained, but not necessarily process engineers. A lot of IPC standards go into process, making sure that they understand that they're using the right solders, they're using the right fluxes. So we're trying to expand on that to try and get companies to understand that it's not just operators that need to know this information. It must go from a higher level, and then that information filters down. I'm quite intrigued to see how the right to repair goes in regards to us in the UK, and especially over in America. We're moving into an area where sustainability is important. We need to make sure that complex assemblies are still able to work for a set period of time. Historically, especially for military, we have products that are important, that they function, but if they go wrong, we can't rework and repair. Even the military are now realising that this is very costly and they need to move into an area where historically rework that was forbidden is now actually going to have to happen.